Hi, and welcome to Community Talk. My name is Perkins from Youth and Family Services. I brought a special guest with me today. This is Crystal Lowingood, and she is also with Youth and Family Services. Crystal is our Assistant Clinical Director of Specialty Courts, and she offices mostly from our grand office. And the reason I brought her today is because every segment I've been trying to introduce you to a new program that Youth and Family Services offers. We're always so known for our shelter, and that is a great service we provide. But as you know, there are so many other services that we offer at Youth and Family that many people just know nothing about. So I thought this would be a really good opportunity to bring you in and have you tell us about your position and some of the different things that go on in specialty courts. And if you would just start by telling us what specialty courts is, because I didn't even realize that until you and I had a chance to talk about it prior to the show.
Yeah, Garfield County has this gift of specialty courts, and Youth and Family is so grateful to be a part of that. So we have two of their specialty courts that we provide therapy for. We have their Garfield County Adult Substance Sobriety Court, and then we also have their Juvenile Drug Court. So they're both Adult Drug Court and Juvenile Drug Court. Adult Drug Court has the first name. And so what happens is they come to us through the legal system, through drug court, and they have this assessment, and they're deemed appropriate or inappropriate for our programs, and then we provide them therapy. We have a whole team of people to provide this therapy through these specialty courts.
Okay, and so when you and I were talking, I made the mistake of assuming that just anybody can be a part of this program, but there are some pretty serious requirements to be in either program, the juvenile or adult program. So would you explain what that is?
Yes, so with our adult program, you usually have a felony charge. You are usually facing prison time, and this is something that you can take, especially if you have a substance use problem. This is what this is geared towards, are people who need treatment rather than prison. And so this is something that you can take maybe in your plea deal or something else. You come in, you take an assessment with us, a screening tool to see if you are appropriate for our program, and then based off of that, the DA can allow you in, and they will give you a deal based on you completing adult drug court. Now, juvenile drug court has some similarities in that, in which you have to have certain crimes, you have to score a certain number on the assessments and the screening tools that we give you, and then you are allowed in to juvenile drug court. We want high risk, high need. So these are the people in the community that really, really need treatment. The ones that, you know, when they go to prison, they're not getting the treatment that they need.
Right.
Those are the clients we want.
It's punitive.
Yes, we want to help them. And the beauty of it is, and this is something you don't get a lot, people who have family members who struggle with addiction will understand how amazing it is to watch the legal system and treatment work together. And if you've ever been on either part of that, you know that that's a rarity for them to come together, and historically that hasn't happened a lot. And so to watch us come together and be a team and work for the healing of these individuals so that they can come out and be great community parts of our community, it's amazing. And so we meet together at least a minimum of once a week to staff the people that are in these programs, and to make sure they're getting the best treatment on both sides, on the legal side and the treatment side, and that we're working closely together.
So if we have a viewer who is probably, you know, maybe facing a situation somewhat like this, or there's a family member watching that has someone about to go through the court system, they can talk to their attorney about just checking into this program to see if it's something that might be right for them. So a referral might be made so that they can be assessed.
Absolutely. Talk to your lawyer. See if you can get in touch with the DA. You want the ORAS assessment is what it's called. Now, people are screened out based off of their charges and whether or not they will be appropriate for our program. So not everybody is guaranteed this. This is a privilege to be able to be in this program.
Yes.
And so not everybody will be able to get into it, but for sure advocate for those family members and for yourself. If you're somebody who struggles with addiction, this changes lives.
And there's no charge for this program, correct?
No, so whenever you start adult drug court, for the first phase, it's a minimum of 6 hours of treatment a week, which is no charge to the person. That's a lot of money. that would cost a private person quite a bit of money
Sure.
to be able to do this. Also, we will send them inpatient. So if they meet criteria for inpatient, maybe they're really struggling with getting sober, they can order them. They'll be court ordered to go to treatment, where they need to stay in treatment. They need to complete that. A lot of times family members will go through the struggle of sending somebody private pay to treatment and they leave halfway through treatment. Well, this time you also have the assistance of the court to order them to go to treatment, and you have to stay in treatment where there are consequences to those actions.
Sure.
And so our goal is to get them sober long enough to love sobriety, and that's what we want to happen.
Now, when we were talking earlier, you were describing to me different phases. So if we could start with the adult special court program, and perhaps you could just tell us a little bit about what those stages or phases are throughout their process.
So with adult drug court, it's cut up into 11 months. That's the minimum that you would spend in adult drug court, is 11 months. And what we do is we step down therapy. So in the first phase, like I talked about, you're going to start getting that 6 hours a week. And then from there, we're going to step you down in therapy, and we're going to start putting you into the community to do AA, NA meetings. Maybe you're going to go to Celebrate Recovery. Whatever works for you, we want you to find something in the community that's going to help you stay sober, so that you're not dependent on treatment. Right. So we're going to have, we have 5 phases, and our phase 5, you're going to receive the least amount of treatment. However, if you need treatment, all they have to do is ask, and we'll increase it. It doesn't mean that you have to only get that amount of treatment. We have clients who receive more than 6 hours because they need more than 6 hours. They ask for more than 6 hours. How awesome is that? That they come to us and they say, this treatment is working, but I need more. Can I have more? And so that's really amazing when you're sitting there and somebody's fighting for they're literally fighting for their life, and they come in and they say, this is working, please, can I have another session with you? Can I have more case management? What can I do to be more successapy? And so that happens also.
I can hear your passion.
I know, I get really excited about it.
So tell me, as far as therapy for that person goes, they get some case management, and then they get group and individual?
Yes, so starting out in phase 1, we're going to do what's called PRSS group, which is a peer recovery support specialist group. And what that is somebody who's in recovery, and they've been for us, we require them to be in recovery for a few years, and they come in and they're going to share their strength and hope with our clients. So they'll meet with them 2 hours a week. They have 2 groups that they have to go to, and we have different groups throughout the week that they can attend that are led by ours right now is a female. Her name is Jessica. She's awesome. And so she will share with them. She'll have group topics with them. And then they also do 2 hours of group rehab, which is skill building. We're trying to teach you how to use those coping skills. What is a trigger? What does addiction mean? And so this is really teaching, getting those skills built. And then they're also doing 1 hour of case management. You know, do you need a job? Do you need housing? Do you need clothes? Do you need, what supplies do you need? Some of those we have. We collect them. And others we can give them vouchers to go to somewhere to get clothes. Whatever they need, we're there to help them.
So helping with resources and and just trying to fill the gaps.
Right. And then they have that individual counseling, psychotherapy, which is for trauma and learning how to feel your emotions again, and reuniting the family back together. That's one of the things that we'll do too is, you know, if there's kids in DHS custody, let's get these families well. Let's do family counseling. Let's get mom and or dad sober so that we can get the family unit back together and we can have them be a healthy and happy family unit.
Okay. And urinary analysis are done quite often, what we call UA, and that is part of the program cost. The cost is not does not fall on the participant. So that's part of our grant and what we cover.
Well, that is through the drug court program. The legal side gives the UAs, they're random UAs. The clients don't know when they're going to be getting those. They call in every day. They have to call in every day to see if they're going to get UA'd. And so, no, that's not a cost to them unless they request for it to be labbed. If they fail a test and they want to make sure that that test is, they're saying, no, I didn't use, they can request for it to be labbed. And they will.
So it's quite a commitment, a minimum of 11 months, and that's
Yes.
if there's no hiccups along the way.
Right.
But also just such a benefit and an alternative to incarceration.
Yes, it saves our county and our state a lot of money. The other thing that it does is it takes people out of the prison system, out of the judicial system that need treatment and help, but allows us to still work together.
So our executive director, Dan Buckley, was telling me that we had 32 drug court graduates this past month, and then that saved the city of Enid about $250,000 in fees to incarcerate and feed and clothe and all the things that fall under the costs of being incarcerated. So that's really an important number, I think, for our community to know, is that this saves the whole community a lot of money.
Yeah, and I think something else that Garfield County should be proud of is that we have an 80% success rate that graduates from Garfield County Drug Court. And
that's huge.
It's huge. So that we are one of the most successful drug courts in Oklahoma. And that's right here. So not a lot of people know that, not a lot of people know to be proud of that we are really trying to get our community sober, and we're working together to do it.
Oh, well said.
Thanks.
So, well, before we run out of time, if you'll just tell us a little bit about the juvenile drug court. And I know it has a lot of similarities, but we're looking at a little bit longer period of time, aren't we?
Theirs is a little shorter, so they do 8 months minimum. One of the things that happens is they can get sanctions, or if they stay longer. If their behaviors say we need longer treatment, they get longer treatment. But they still do the UAs. They do a minimum of 4 hours of counseling each week whenever they start, and theirs is kind of similar. We drop off the treatment as our time progresses. So, and their family's very involved. So we want mom, we want dad, whoever's part of their family, they're coming in, they're receiving treatment. We want to treat the family unit so that everyone gets better, and that's also at no cost.
And I imagine their success rate is pretty high too, but you're explaining to me that keeping those numbers is not really something that the state requires, but having them successfully complete the program speaks for itself.
Definitely, and one of the things that we really try to push with them is, graduate from high school, get your GED, let's help you get a job. So a lot of these are teenagers that wouldn't have graduated if they wouldn't have gone through this program.
Right, and with the case management, we're able to perhaps help them with housing even. There's so many, we can really offer some wraparound care, but we don't know what their needs are until we get them in there.
That's exactly right. We can use the shelter, we can use Thelma's house, and we do. We use them a lot to help stabilize the program, take breaks from the family, or maybe they don't have that family unit, so we can work together to provide them the support that they're missing.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We are already out of time. That went by so fast.
It did, yes.
Because you are so passionate and you have so many great things to say. And
thank you.
Just want you to know how much I appreciate the work that you do at Youth and Family. And I love that you share our success stories, because we're just this diamond sitting over there on Oxford and our other diamond on Grand. And I want people to know all the amazing things that we offer to this community and the difference that we make in the community of Enid and all of Northwest Oklahoma.
Yes.
So thank you, Crystal. I appreciate you being here. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Look forward to seeing you next month.